All right, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, we are live. Tonight is Wednesday, April 8th, 2015, new month. Hello to everyone else out there in the internet land, and welcome to another hangout with the team in the black. I am joined tonight with the usual Mr. Mash Uhas and two awesome people who are our team, joined
Yes.
by Gary and Betty Jean. So what I want to do real quick is I want to hear from everyone tonight before we get into everything else. So I'm going to start with Max, go to Gary, and then go to Betty, and then we'll go from there. Max, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome, dude. I've been kind of itching for this webinar, man, because I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of people, and we're gonna cover some really cool stuff tonight. In the meantime, though, I want to give total props and shout outs to Gary and Betty Jean for getting on this because, I know that the invitations have been thrown out there before, and I can tell you this: it's just like when we first started doing these live webinar things, it's always weird, you know what I mean? Because I remember when we started first. Remember when Prosperity Team did that like 30 videos in 7 days challenge? And
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
you, Matt, you remember that? Like we were going crazy with that. Like, I'd shot like 40 videos in like 7 days, and my first videos, guys, they sucked. They sucked so bad. They were the worst videos. Like I've gone back and watched them now, and I'm just like, oh man, I actually hit publish on those. But what was cool about that is that it got me comfortable in front of a camera, and for any of you guys that are watching this, whether you're on the team or somebody invited you here or something else like that, um, just one of the things that I'm going to share with you tonight is that basically you gotta, if you want to progress and you want to excel and you want to like grow your business, like whether it's online, offline, whatever, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable in that sense, and you gotta be able to do stuff that you're normally not doing. I mean, before I started shooting videos and posting them on Facebook or putting them on YouTube and stuff, and I mean, like as of today, I think I've got close to like almost 400 videos between like 5 different YouTube channels, and my first videos were horrible. You know what I mean? So, but like as I got comfortable in front of the camera, you just get more natural. You know what I mean? You just get more natural. So I'm proud of you guys for getting out there and jumping on this tonight because this is super cool. Like I don't normally get the chance to like chat with you guys unless it's like in the Facebook group or anything. So other than that, man, hopefully you guys grab your notebooks. You guys are ready to learn some cool stuff because we got some really awesome content for you tonight.
Content.
Content.
Awesome.
Right on.
Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, again, like, yeah, thanks for jumping on. It's really good to see you guys, and it's good to have you on here because I'm gonna see you guys very often. We're always in chatting on Facebook and stuff. So again, thank you for coming on. It's awesome. Gary, how you feeling tonight? It's your turn. It's your time to shine.
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm syndicating. I'm blogging every day and syndicating every day, and I'm anxious to learn some new techniques on maybe Facebook advertising and that kind of thing, so I can generate a few more leads. Betty Jean, I understand you've been doing fairly well.
Oh yeah, you're
In
on the
some areas of my
leaderboard for
life,
most
yeah.
leads.
Yes. Getting the leads is one thing, and obviously then you have to take those leads and work at converting them into sales and that type of thing. And that's the area where I know that I look forward to more direction in that. Because leads, I know a lot of people are interested in making money online and also in looking at other ways to generate income from home, all sorts of things. And so then you got to get the leads, and then when you get the leads, following up with them, and that's the area where I know that I need to keep working on a whole lot. But it is exciting. It's exciting to be jumping into the ring more. I said a couple of years ago when I got into network marketing that it was a whole new ballgame for me. I actually am comfortable behind a camera, but I'm usually live in front of thousands of people, so it's an interesting thing that, going from
Wow.
one niche to another, how you can freeze again, freeze. And this is a whole new niche for me. Like I'm lined up in May. One of the things that I've got going as a nurse, a fly-in nurse, I will be flying for 6 weeks in 6 different cities. Now, some of these are so small that the only way you can get into them is by an airplane. They're in the middle of the bush. I love talking to banks and stuff, trying to deal with banking. They say, go to the nearest bank. I go, ma'am, do you realize that that's a 2-hour plane trip from here? And so if you look at geographically from Thunder Bay up to Hudson's Bay, I fly into that area to work with Indigenous First Nations people providing home care. And one of my missions is to see that they can have the same privilege and honor that we have in their elder years of living in a home in their own community instead of having been sent thousands of miles away to die alone in some strange place where they don't even speak the language. So if I was to say, how are you this evening in Oju Cree, I would say, Ananijiayan. How are you? Ananijiayan. Now, as long as they said Numanoia to me, I'd know they're okay. Once they go off, then I go, whoa, 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 I know a few of the phrases, and I love it, and I love the work. So I love my work as a nurse, but I'm transitioning because I'm not getting any younger. So I'm entering my third act. I did a blog on that. Jane Fonda talked about how we on average live 30 years longer than what our great-grandparents did. And Gary, you'll appreciate this because that's like a whole new lifetime. And you're in it, and I know you love boats and a sailor, and I can see your boat behind you there, and I go, I can hardly wait to do a mastermind, all of us together with Gary at the helm, and, Matt and John, we're going to have a hootenanny, have a good time. But anyway, so transitioning from a high touch to a high tech, as my sweet friend Chris Rushlow said, my synapses just don't fire as quickly, and they misfire because they've been firing one direction for so long. But I'm not giving up. I'm here. And so as I shared with John earlier tonight, if you asked me how I am, I'd have to say in what area of my life, because there's my mental, my physical, my emotional, my spiritual, and my financial. And, they all need to be in balance, right? And that's what this whole thing is in our network marketing, is that balance. And that you have to do that on your own. You have to be really dedicated and on mission, like, targeted to stay focused, because that shiny new object syndrome is even greater in this industry than it ever was in nursing. And nursing had lots of areas, right, that you could specialize in. And I was a foot care nurse, and I honed in on that area, so I'm an expert, actually, and I have that website called toejam.expert. Anyway, thanks to you guys. But that's my little intro, and as you can see, I could go on for hours. So I'm excited to be here to learn how to, let people know that are my leads, how they can make this work in their life as I try to find out how to make it work. So thanks, guys. You're awesome.
That was one of the most badass intros I've ever had in my life. Betty Jean, I want to join you instead of Max and John and Gary. Sorry, Gary. I'm joining Betty Jean today. I want to learn more about Toe Jam and other stuff.
Hey, Betty Jean, where are you exactly?
She's in Canada.
Right now, exactly, I'm in Orillia, Ontario, which is an hour north of Toronto. This is my home here. But from here, then I will take a bus to Toronto, get on a flight at Pearson, fly to Thunder Bay, and then from Thunder Bay get on yet a smaller plane and fly into the bush.
Wow. I'm so impressed with that.
Yeah. It's so exciting. I got stories to tell you that don't even sound real. And here in my home, I'm sharing it actually these months with, you know how you have a 2-year-old son? Well, I have a 2-year-old grandson often here. So my house has been converted because the son that I have is going through a transition, we might say. And he's here with his kids, and he's got not 1, not 2, 3, 4.
Whoa.
Yes. So
wow.
It's pretty busy sometimes.
Okay.
But I love it. I love it.
So hey, so just to help you out with this, because we're just kind of free flowing this one tonight. So what do you? Because actually, now that we're talking, dude, it's so cool to hear you talk. Like, you're so passionate about like yourself. It's great. You should actually get on camera more. And do you do a lot of videos or?
I don't do enough videos. I've got the stick, I got the microphone, but I'm still having trouble positioning it all, and I'm very, vain. So I want to catch the right angle because my nose, you know, at a certain angle
Whatever.
doesn't.
No, come on.
I'm
No,
scared
get out of here.
to have
Don't
to
do those. No, you need to do more videos. Like you've got a great like presence on camera. So what are you doing
When I start, like what I do, if I did it alone, Max, I would freeze. So when I'm in a conversation, telling a story, I could do it. When I'm trying to regurgitate a story, it lacks, right? It does. It always does.
Gotcha. So you just need like more people on with you. Well, I mean, live hangouts are great for them too. I mean, you know what's funny is like sometimes I'll record like live hangouts and it's just me, and like I won't even advertise it, but I'll just like, record like and I'll pretend like people are watching, just to like get the practice in on it. And speaking of you,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, because I mean you have to kind of, you know, you got to get used to doing it. So just to kind of help you convert this though, like what are you doing to get all the leads you're getting? Is it all?
Well, I send emails, so you know I'm trying to copy what I see other mentors doing in that, and sending them not near the amount of letters that I get because I'm on a few, you know, people's lists. So because I want to see what I get, so I know what to send, right? And I've sent copies of this, invited them to the hangout, and that. I need more consistency. I'm going to put it in the positive on all of this. Not what I don't have, what I need more of. And so I need more consistency. What are you looking at up there?
My kids just came into the room, and I'm trying to funnel them out of here so I can continue with this without distraction. So
Only your kids out there, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know how that works. Come in and bump out and they go. Well, they're the greatest pattern interrupt in the world, so. So here, hold on. I'm going to transition.
Hey, John Newton, how are you, buddy? Way to come on, and he didn't get to say anything. Are you able to talk, or you're good?
I'm good. I had to get my laptop because I don't know, my main PC wasn't connecting, so I'm like looking down here. The camera's way the hell up here. So it's a pretty funky setup, but anyway, yeah. So I'm good. I'm here. Yay!
You made it. We're all here. We got 2 new people. Well, not 2 new people, but people aren't on. So yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really glad Gary and Betty Jean made it on, and I think Talon wanted to make it on too, but he said he may not be able to get on audio. So anyway, if you're out there, Talon.
If I was up north, I couldn't join you because the speed of the internet in the north is too slow, and all you get is the reels on the bus go round and round. That's it. It won't connect. Oh, it's painful.
I like it.
For 5 minutes of watching, it takes an hour. So that's unfortunate, but that's changing. It's changing in the north, thankfully.
Well, that's okay. I live in a supposedly high-tech area, and my internet goes down almost on a daily basis, it seems like. So there's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Hey, Betty Jean, I have a question for you. So recently, I think it was last month or so, you were on the leaderboard for the most leads generated, like straight through. I think it was in Power Funnel. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. So
thank you.
Could you share like what you did or what you did to get on that to happen? If you're still doing that, if you're not doing that, what are you doing now? What have you changed upon to try and improve upon that?
Well, to get those leads were purchase leads. So what am I supposed to say? That's the truth. That one of the things, but the interesting thing about it is that I have purchased leads before, and they have never been as many or as worked as well as what I guess these leads did. That these were very high quality leads that I had that time. I wasn't totally set up when I got them, which was my responsibility. So they got all dumped into EN, and actually I had to hand take them over to Get Response. So I have a little bit of a thing there because I was Aweber and I had all my follow-up emails in Aweber, and now these are going over to Get Response. So I've done a little bit of shifting, and I did move them over so I could send everybody the same email kind of thing. But that's what it has been primarily. Now, when you ask about leads, I know this will sound just so amateur, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you have the leads from people responding to your Pinterest activity or any activity out there, and you know, they make a comment, that is a lead then to follow up with conversation, correct? And to try to find out what they're looking for or what their interest is. Maybe not so much Pinterest, but an actual lead. So I have taken some of those leads, most of them, to try to find them, on Facebook as well, to connect with them. A few of them I have, and I've, you know, attempted to connect. And I don't find it that successful often, even though I can see they've read the message, they don't answer back. I don't know if other people experience the same things. The leads that go out, the open rate out of, you know, 400 leads is only about eight people open to 17. At 20 was the most of people opening the actual email. So the leads are one thing, but the open rate, right, isn't that great. And I know some of it has to do with catchy ads and the headlines, that kind of thing. I'm not sure what other people, how they keep people engaged and take them through that getting to know you, like you stage.
Gotcha. I see. Now, I mean, as far as, you know, the open rates, one of the things that they taught in the 15K, which I do, is that I'll send out the initial email, and then you can do this in Aweber Get Response. Excuse me, you take the same email, but you change the title and you send it to those who didn't open it, and then you can get your rates higher on that by doing it that way too. Not all the time, but you can, you know, change it to a different title for the subject line and the email for those who didn't open it, and then if you want, you really kind of take things a little bit further, you can then change the ad copy in that same email to try to get more clicks.
But
the other thing too, question is,
it's the ones that open it that interest me, and you can put them in a segment. But I didn't understand what that meant. It says, do you want to segment this list? And each time I looked, it wasn't that same people opening it. So I go, I don't know what they really mean by segment, so I didn't do that app.
So yeah, when they're talking about segmenting your list, it's segmenting those who opened it and creating a separate list for that. You can just email it to those that you know that they're always open emails and always click, and it's separating it from those who haven't opened your emails for that specific email, and you can email them.
Title as well. The ones that you segment would then get a brand new title, and they would be listed under your subscriptions or subscribers, so to speak. Okay.
Right, because when you go to send your email on Aweber, it'll say what subscribers. So whatever list you segmented, like for example, if you had an email said Freedom Friday, and then you had like 100 people that didn't open it, you could segment and say no open Freedom Friday, and then you could go back in and as you're about to send a different email, or you can send the same email to that group called No Open Freedom Friday, and just change the subject line to like why didn't you open it? Like, what are you doing? You're crazy, something like that, and see what happens that way. Because if you don't know why people open it, because they saw it, they're too busy, they can get the email, whatever the case may be, send it to them again, and you'll get, you know, you still get people to open your email and follow up with them that way. And then, you know, the other thing, it's simply just knowing who your target market is and giving them, you know, what's going to getting to know them first, and then kind of connecting with them through that channel. Because I remember in the beginning just getting anyone and mom on my email list and thinking of like, why aren't you opening this? Why aren't you joining? Without realizing that like you have to know who you're speaking to and talking their language and solving their problems and relating to them like that instead of just buying a lead source. I'm not saying it's wrong. You don't know really what their problems are in a sense and how you're trying to solve them.
You're right. One of the limitations of purchasing leads is it's not necessarily in your niche. You don't know who they are from, where they're from, what they're
better off generating your own leads.
Yeah. The other thing, Betty Jean, is you know, kind of like what we talked about today. So you've got an interesting story. You've got a bunch of things that have been challenges and things that you're going through in life. Tell people about that, because basically what you're trying to do is get people to resonate with you, and those are the people that you want to join, right? If nobody, there's not everybody's going to resonate with you or me or Max or Matt. Nobody resonates with Matt. So, but tell your story and get people engaged with that, and that's really kind of the key. So I just want to make sure so you understand. You take the openers and you move them to a brand new list. You create a list with those.
Each time you do that, you start a new one with those people, or do you put the ones that open all in the same opener list?
Well, so it kind of depends.
Because there might only be 4 people, right? 8 people.
There's multiple ways you can do that. Like in Aweber, you can create list segments. So there's a if you go into GetResponse in Aweber, there's some training in there that tells you how to create list segments, right? But that's essentially what you're doing is you're taking the openers, the people that open your emails, the people that click on your links or whatever, and you're moving them into a completely separate list. And when you see people post results where they're getting like 90% open rates and 80% open rates and all that kind of stuff, those are the open rates that are happening within those segmented lists. So you've got 400 leads out there, and everybody's got tons of leads out there on various lists. Nobody gets 80% open rates on their entire list. They get 80% open rates on their segmented lists, which are the people that are interested in you. They're following you. They're really liking whatever content you're posting out there. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick too? And this is the other thing too. It's like, don't take it personal when like not everybody opens your emails, because just like you, like I'll fish around, like I'll jump on people's lists just to get like stuff or just like to see what they're doing or whatever. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna like opt into every single email that they send, especially the people that bombard your email list with like 5-6 emails a day. Like a lot of times, like I joined up with a guy because he was selling this thing. It was like a $7 like YouTube secret thing or whatever, and then like I bought it and I was like, I know all this stuff, so whatever. So and, like he kept sending me emails and I opted out. I unsubscribed in like 2 days. So here's the thing, it's like you're not going to get everybody, but yeah, if you segment them and are you using Aweber or are you using GetResponse?
I have both.
You have both? Okay, so I mean you can do the same thing with both, and what's cool about both of them, you can actually see who opens and who does whatever. But it's like, but yeah, dude, I mean seriously, it's I just know this, and for those of us that went to like the Epic Story Academy, it's like the better you get at just like not trying to necessarily like duplicate what everybody's doing, but more or less just like getting comfortable being yourself. And just talking to people, like you're not going to have everybody in the world sign up with you, but at the same time, it's like if you want to turn those leads into sales, like you're going to have to like, well, obviously like some call to action buttons or stuff like that, but it's also like, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm transitioning it, and whether it's your own results or other people's results or whatever, like I just put a video together a couple days ago where I was basically I used a couple of Talon's results. I used some other people in my video as social proof of people getting results with the system that I'm marketing. And because of that, and I showed it to Talon, he was like, dude, that's awesome. He was like, thanks for throwing me in there. I was like, hey, man, no problem, because you're posting results. So, and this is just something, because I literally just jumped off of Amy's webinar, and then I was watching an iPass webinar, and then I jumped on this. And everybody's basically, it's like, if you've watched any good sales funnel, and this is kind of how you want to think of your emails and the follow-up emails and stuff, it's basically like, it's like a pre-sale funnel. You know, so whether it's things that you've learned, things that you've accomplished, things that you know, maybe something that you didn't understand before that now all of a sudden you got. You know, it's the same thing like this, right? Like, this is the first time you guys are jumping on an actual, like, live webinar with us. You know, so I'm super proud of that. But at the same time, it's like, this is something like, this is going to be recorded. You can go on YouTube and you can play this back, and it's just like, these are the cool things that I learned, and these are the cool things that, hey, if you join my team, you can work interactively with people like this. Because a lot of people, I know when I first got online, and you guys all know who my sponsor was when I first got online, I had a useless sponsor, you know, who literally didn't help me with anything other than buy more products, you know, who basically told me that this, hold on.
She said logging doesn't work.
Yeah, literally, like, my
Remember
sponsor
that.
didn't work.
Remember that hangout.
You guys, I mean, you know, and I think you actually said, you might have sat through that. So I had a very useless
Burritos work.
So, huh?
Burritos work.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Burritos.
So the yeah, but I mean, like, I had a sponsor who didn't teach me anything, and what's funny is, it's just like, I was in this limbo mode for so long. Come here, you. And welcome to your pattern interrupt right here. You know. Okay, but I was in limbo for so long, not knowing anything. Say hi to everybody. Hi. You know. And what's funny is like, once I figured out why I was marketing and like what I was doing, and a lot of this stuff I had to figure out myself. So I know. Just go sit over there. I'll be right there. I love you. I love you. So anyway, you gotta be quiet for 2 seconds. So the thing with it though is that, like, basically once I figured out what I was marketing, because a lot of times with people, they don't know what they want to market. You know, they don't know who they're marketing to, or who their niche is, or who's going to connect with them, or anything else. Yes. Okay, I love you. Give me a kiss. Okay, so and that's the thing. It's like, who's going to resonate with you more? That's what you got to figure out. You know, whether your niche is like, I like nursing, or I like helping people, or I like this, or I like that, and then kind of bridge that into what you're offering. You know, because it's like, you've basically, let's put it this way, in the time that you've been on this, I've figured out almost 6, 7, possibly 8 key points that you can basically work off of right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 3rd phase of my life. I'm a nurse. I like traveling. I like helping people. I'm a foot expert. You know, I can speak a couple different languages. You know, this and this and that. And there are people out there that, you know, may be able to connect with you, not on necessarily every single one of those, but that can connect with you on a couple of those points. You know, so with that, it's just kind of like, not everybody's going to connect with, hey, I'm a foot specialist. You know what I mean? But there are people out there all over the town, man. I used to have foot problems when I was, you know, I had to go to a podiatrist. I had to get, like, foot surgeries and stuff because I didn't grow in toenails and things. And it's like, I know if you know, back then, like, I don't think the internet was even around. But, or if it was, it was super slow and it sucked. So, Taylor's here! Dude, this is awesome! We're getting everybody on! This is so badass. So yeah, so basically, it's like, I know that, like, there are going to be people that can do this. So, Milan, mute your mic. I'm a foot specialist. You know what I mean? But there are people out there. Milan, mute your mic. I used to have foot problems when I was a kid. First, I had to get, like. There you go. Appreciate it. So, but yeah, this is the but that's the whole thing. It's like, not everybody's going to connect with you on everything, but you can transition this into so many more things. You know what I mean? If you're passionate about helping people. What's his face out there in Portugal? You know what I mean? Like, they're using the Empower, the blog itself as a fundraising platform. You know, so that's one angle that you can go for. You know, and it's just play on it. You know what I mean? Just play on it. You don't have to. What I figured out is like, don't necessarily try to do everything all at once. You know, just basically, if you're gonna do a week of, like, this is me helping people in social work. You know what I mean? This is me working on feet. This is me. In my, you know, kind of do your blogs and your emails and stuff, and you can actually set your emails to broadcast your blog posts if you set up the RSS feed the right way, which every post you do can literally, like, go out to your list. And I mean, yeah, some people may not be that interested in feet, and they may not open up, but some people will be like, hey, she's doing charity work. That's pretty cool. That's actually how a lot of viral activity gets done, because somebody sees somebody doing something that they think is really, really special. You know, if you guys do YouTube, there's a whole video floating around on YouTube where the girl hears the sound for the first time. Have you guys seen that? The advertisement that's going around that? It's basically it's the ad that YouTube is now using for their YouTube advertising platform. you know, and what these people did is like we created a company to help people and this and this and that, and it's this whole backstory on this woman hearing a sound for the first time in her life. You know, and that's the whole thing. It's like if you're doing this with people, yeah, I know I can stay focused during this whole thing, right? But people are going to resonate with that. So whether it's this is a very target focus, but people are going to resonate with that. Whether it's, you know, you going out and like helping people or this and this and that, and like this is the kind of thing that's basically, you know, because obviously it's like you're not going to be able to do that forever, but at the same time, I'm sure you would love to be able to show people how to do this and, you know, still make a living while doing charity work or something, or helping people with foot stuff. And by the way, hey, listen, I don't know if your feet are ever going to get amputated or not, but just in case they do and you can't get around, you might need to make some money online, so let me show you the system that can help you. I mean, that's a really dark twist on that, but, you know, but it is a twist on that. So there's like, that's how my brain operates, by the way. But you know, there's a lot of different ways that can be, you know, that you can basically just tweak it, you know, and it's just, hell, man, I just know this, man, for $25, you know, for $25 a month, it's absolutely worth it for anybody to get a blog. You know, there are people that are setting up blogs for their kids, there are people that are setting up blogs for charity events, there are businesses that are setting up blogs for themselves, whether it's for their real estate business or their online business or for their modeling business or their music or their art or whatever, you know. You need a blog. Yeah, you see my, you like that? Yeah. That's Daddy's serious face. So that's the whole thing with it. You know, you can basically position that to anything, to where it's like, you know, and you guys know Abram, right? Abram did that thing. Matt, you might know this. What was it called when he basically videotaped himself for an entire year doing something weird? It was Inspiraction.
Like Inspiration Action. Yeah, like you're talking about. He did a whole year every day doing something new and different, and people like got off to that stuff. Yeah, I think it was called Inspiration Action. Something.
No, it was Inspiraction, and what he, yeah, like literally, I mean, like he spent a whole day like acting like a kid, and, like playing in the backyard, like helping, you know, working, like, you know, building snowmen with kids or something, and then like he spent an entire day not talking, you know, and like videotaped it. Not the entire day, but, you know, he spent an entire day with his arm tied behind his back, like weird stuff that people wouldn't normally do, but just to show that, like, hey man, you know, this is, and it's weird. Like he got on TEDx. Like you can actually watch his TEDx speech of like why he did it, and it was really, really cool. And what's funny is like I met Abram after all this, so I wasn't like a follower of Abram. But he built up a huge following for himself because he was doing something that most people wouldn't do. And that's the other thing too. It's like you can copy what other people are doing, and it's just, you know, it's going to be like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, or you can just do what you're doing and be you and be awesome at it. Because just seeing you doing this is, I'm just like, all right, cool, you got it. You know, and it's the same thing. And Gary, like we've had this. Well, I've had a one-sided conversation with the camera. I've never actually got to talk to you about this, but I mean, if you're a boating enthusiast and you're whatever your real passion is, guys, like that's what you should really be talking about. Because whether it's something that somebody can connect with for any reason, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I got online because I was looking for a way to make money online. That was specifically what I was looking for. I heard people making money online, and I saw these people making money online, and I was like, there's no way these people are smarter than me, they're talented than me, or anything. There's got to be some weird secret. So I went and did all the research, and, you know, and I joined up, you know, and then basically, like, you know, and there is a learning curve involved in it, and some people are a little more tech savvy and stuff, but I mean, seriously, I didn't have a smartphone until about a year and a half ago, you know, because I seriously avoided technology. You know, I didn't want one. I liked my flip phone. I didn't like having all these weird gadgets and gadgets and stuff. Dude, it was great. My flip phone, you know what I can do with my flip phone? I can text message and call people. That's what a phone was for, you know, and now I'm just like, I'm emailing, I'm Twittering, I'm Instagramming, I'm doing all this other stuff with it. You know, but now that I'm like marketing online, I guess I need all this stuff. But before that, I was like anti-technology, to where I was just, yes, I was anti-technology, you know, because I didn't want to be like everybody else is on the technology. Because I'm the resistor guy that's like, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You want a smartphone? No, man, I'm gonna stay with my flip phone, and I'll argue the point with you. No, watch it. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. So you can connect with so many people in so many different ways, and it's just like. And the cool thing about it, though, guys, is this is what you got to realize, right? If you can do it, they can do it. Because all you need is like one or two common bonds where somebody goes, if she's doing it and she's a nurse, and I can do it. If he's doing it and he loves boats, then I can do it. You know, people are watching Matt, they're going, well, if he's a former Marine, or well, you're always a Marine for your entire life, but you know, whether you're active duty or whatever, you know, but it's like, if he's military, then I can do this. You know, if I'm a stay-at-home father like Talon and do this, then I can do this. You know, and it's like there are certain things that people are going to resonate with and people are going to connect with, and that's really what the whole point of the real. You want the real secret? Bing, light bulb here. People resonate with people. It's not the product that you're selling. It's not the system that you're selling. It's not anything. They resonate with you. You know, so just once that just kind of like
true.
But it's true though, man. You know, it's like, you know, you've got how many people?
Can I get a real example of this?
Like,
why am I raising my hand like I'm in class? Anyways, real example of this. So I had a woman who she's former military. I don't know what branch. I think she was in the Army, and she had commented on one of my posts. This was like last week. She commented on my post I had posted like a couple months ago. The reason why I need to blog, because when you blog, it stays out there. People find you, and they just it brings people to you. So she had commented on there. Was like, the post is about PTSD and how there's misbad and people, you know, misconceptions about it. And she wrote on there like saying, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea PTSD could take so long to be diagnosed. I was in the Army in 1989. I got diagnosed with PTSD like in 2000, and I was like, I read it and I thought, holy crap, that's a long time to be diagnosed with something after you've done your." So I started talking to her, connected with her, and I said, hey, like, you can check out my story that I have on my blog. She had read the story and loved it, connected with me, and invited me to another group. And the one thing that really resonated with her is a part of my story where I talked about I was basically homeless, not like out in the streets, but basically I lived from one friend's house to another. And even though that was my experience, she could relate to it because at one point she was homeless too and connected with me on that, which is what Max is saying, is like people connect with you on who you are and your struggles. It doesn't have to be the exact struggles you've been through, but it's a struggle, and they will connect to it in some way, in some fashion, and she did. And I was like surprised by that. So with that being said, that was my story. Talon, can you hear me? Do you want to share some thoughts?
Or Gary, looks like Talon might be kind of in and out because he's got his kids. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, Gary, questions, thoughts. Speak your mind, buddy. You're free. It's okay.
Well,
We all love you.
I'm somewhat in. I'm not getting the leads, but I am purchasing the leads. I've been doing like I said earlier, the blogging every day. Been maintaining that fairly well, and I'm syndicating it on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Google Plus, as well as Social Adder, Pingler, and Social Monkey. But I think in order to get serious about getting some leads, I'm going to have to get some paid ads going on Facebook. I don't have that going yet. And I do have ClickFunnels. I'm going to try my best this next week to do the bridge funnel and do that. John, some time ago you were offering that you were buying some packages that you might include people in. Is that still a possibility?
Yeah. So so here's kind of what's been going on, and it's been a long haul. You know, I've connected with Vic Strysus, and through Vic Strysus, I connected with a guy who's got access to like 1 billion records of data. You know, basically names, people. He can segment down to, you know, credit scores, down to male, female, where they live, all sorts of stuff. But the challenge with that is that a couple of things. One, in order to do that effectively, you have to have an email platform to essentially create what are really solo ads to send out to those lists. So he can get the data, but then you have to have a sending platform that you can send that out to. And you can't really do that with GetResponse or Aweber because they don't allow, well, first of all, Aweber, you can't upload lists to them at all. If you want to upload a list to Aweber, they require a double opt-in, so that doesn't work. GetResponse, you can upload smaller lists, but you can't upload tens of thousands of records, and that's kind of the scale that we're talking about here. And so that's been part of the challenge, is just trying to find the right email platform. Now that's been resolved, and I'm actually talking to him tomorrow morning about, okay, what's the next step for us. And all of this has been part of, kind of tied into the release of High Traffic Academy, which just got released basically tonight. And I don't want to go into a lot of complexity there, but there was. But essentially what they did was they took High Traffic Academy and put it into as part of a network offer, a CPA network offer, and those affiliates, so those partners that can sell that, are part of that CPA network. So it's all tied together, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Myself and a whole bunch of other people have been waiting really weeks and months for all of this to kind of come together, and so it's finally here. So that's kind of what's happening, and so I think, hopefully within the next few weeks at the most, we're going to have access to something that we can actually use at a much more reasonable cost than what you're going to find from other people out there. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll know more about that tomorrow. But that's kind of what's going on there. So yeah, hang in there. It's been a long process. I mean, I have literally outside of like the last couple of weeks, I have just stopped running traffic, buying traffic from paid brokers, because the results just weren't worth it. You pay some of these guys 70, 80, 90 cents. I saw somebody today had pay-per-click stuff out there for $1.25. I mean, this stuff is just nuts, and it's just not worth it. So I kind of encourage you guys. I mean, you can test, and I'm always testing traffic sources regardless. If I see something that looks decent, I'll test it. So I encourage you guys, if you have some money to throw at traffic, test those sources. If nothing else, it gives you an opportunity to test landing pages and messaging and all that kind of stuff, just like what Betty Jean ran into. Test messages and subject lines and everything else, so that you can kind of continue to hone in on what really works. But I would not go out and buy tons and tons of traffic. I would not buy traffic from the iPass back office. I'm not getting good reports on that, and I would just not buy tons of traffic until we get this other thing solved, and then I think it's going to be well worth it, because I'll be able to do this at a cost that's much less than what you guys see out there on the marketplace. I'm going to do that for our team. So obviously you guys will be involved in that. If there's people out there who are watching who are not part of our team and who want to have access to that kind of resource, then you need to click the button below and join us. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So looking forward to that.
Is any of the group doing particularly well with Facebook or YouTube? Mike Hobbs did a thing on YouTube a week ago, and YouTube is free.
Hey Gary, actually, YouTube. Here's what I can tell you about YouTube, because actually when me and Rob first started doing a lot of we did a lot of YouTube stuff, and I'm going to tell you this, when it comes to doing YouTube is its own little beast in and of itself, but a lot of it is, and I'll tell you what, Gary, shoot me a private message and I'll go over because you're blogging every day and you're getting this stuff. A lot of this has to do with your keywording. Because literally, and I wish I could turn my whiteboard on and go on a whole crazy thing on this, but I don't want to make this like a 2 hour, hangout for some people, because some people are on the East Coast and that'll take them to like 1 o'clock in the morning. But a lot of it has to do like this is how I write when I do my blog posts now and when I do my videos, right? My title of the piece is exactly what somebody is going to be looking for. And actually, Talon, I see this with a lot of your videos too. Like it's like Talon Ferreira speaks about something. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to type that into a search engine. So, in a sense, like you're almost like it's good to have that. And if you're going to use it for something, it's a different thing. But like what you want to actually do is like you want to keyword your videos and your blog posts literally for something that somebody's going to search for. Because if you're having a hard time getting results or like getting views or getting or just even getting a response with that, it's probably because it's not showing up. Because a lot of it's Matt, what was that thing that you had like the longest like long tail keyword in the entire world? It was like how the law of attraction works for people in Maryland on the East Coast at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. It's like, but that was like that wasn't the title of his video, but it was like
No,
but it was it was something ridiculous like that, where it was like he was like, I ranked on the first page of Google, and it's like, dude, who's gonna look that up? Like,
which you're right, but the point of me doing that was the fact that it showed.
No, you proved that you could.
I could rank something,
which was, and I applauded you on that.
I was happy with it.
No, I totally did it, and I applauded you on that because and then after you were like, yeah, I'm on the first page of Google, and I was like, yeah, but nobody's gonna look for that. So let's let's work on tweet. No, so you got your 5 minutes of like excitement. You were like, I proved to myself I can do it, which is really important.
Yeah.
So beyond that now, it's just like when you do a post, when you do a blog post, when you do a video, like your title and your keywords and stuff. And actually, I'm probably just gonna put together like a training video for this for everybody in the group, so that you can kind of like watch over it and see. And I know we've done some previous like YouTube training, but long tail keywords are awesome. You want to do a 5 to 6 word title. Period. Like don't make it longer than that. Don't make it shorter than that, because like when somebody's going into looking for things, and then there's ways to rank it, but like if you're not getting the right amount of hits on it, like YouTube's great, dude. I've gotten a bunch of signups for iPass from YouTube videos. And it because it's cool, because it pre-frames you. It lets them know a little bit about you. And then you don't really have to do a lot of selling on it, but you're just kind of like pre-framing what it is you're doing, and once again, you got to think about everything like a sales funnel, like you can give information, but you should be selling stuff at the same time. I've literally spent like the last 2-3 weeks, like all my off time, all my downtime, it's like top producer, team builder, and like mass influence, like constantly on audio in the background. And one of the things that like Wood was specifically talking about was just like, don't try to do all the selling yourself. We have systems that do the selling for us. All your main job is to drive traffic to this. But if you're not showing up for what people are looking for, or if you're just like, let's put it this way, if I made a video, it could be the most powerful video in the entire world, but it's like Max Uhas's video number 4 of 12. Like, who's going to look that up? You know what I mean? But it could have, like, the best sales message. It could have the whatever. So it's like, if I'm shooting a video on, like, how to swim, how to be, like, 8 ways to step up your gardening, because I'm doing a lot of gardening now, because it's spring and I want to grow some vegetables. So, like, I joined this gardening group, and I think I'm actually going to start doing some gardening posts. But, but it's like 8 ways to plant, like, tomatoes when you have, like, hard, or actually I gotta think about this, but like how to grow plants in Texas soil, because Texas soil sucks. Like I've had to like raise my thing up like a foot because like the ground is like clay. So but I'm sure that there are people looking for that. So like that's actually something that somebody would look for. But if it's something where it's like best boating, the best boats for whatever ocean, or the best thing, like. It's the way you title the piece, and you should title it thinking about what would somebody be looking for. Like when you type stuff into a search engine, you go 12 ways to get to the whatever, or you just go like easiest way. It's like recipes, right? It's like best meatloaf recipe. You know what I mean? Like best meatloaf recipe. If you had a great meatloaf recipe and it was keyworded for that, and you're talking about meatloaf in your whole video, I guarantee you could rank that video. You know, but if it's like Max's grandmother's recipe for, you know, home cooked meatloaf, it's probably not going to rank that well. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like,
I get you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the details, you can give all the details in your video, and you like in your description you can give all the details, but the title, and it's the same thing with this. With the title, if you're doing a blog post, whether you're doing a video or something, the title should be something that's eye-catching. The title should be something. It's the same thing we were talking about with Betty Jean, with like the, you know, the headlines in your emails. You know, if you know Max's grandmother's best recipe, whatever, like I wouldn't want to open that unless I really wanted like. But if it's something to where it's like, man, you got to taste this. Oh, that's cool. You know, it's like you want to have that like wow factor, but you want to have something that somebody's looking for as well. So that way it ranks and you get more organic views. Because that's the real thing with it. It's like, you know, the whole point of having a search engine and doing all this other stuff is that you can rank it and it has something else to relate to other stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, but what's cool about it is, though, you can always go back and edit titles. You can always go back and edit posts. You can always go back and edit keywords. And I've actually done that before, like titled something, posted it, published it, didn't rank the way I wanted it, went back and tweaked the title and the keywords in it, and all of a sudden it was like there where I wanted it to be. That's the great thing about it. You can always edit. You know, you can always edit stuff to make sure that it does what it needs to do.
Well, and Gary, I mean, I applaud you because you're really good too about doing videos. You know, just short, sort of, you know, hey, here's how to do this, check this resource out, you know, all those kinds of videos. So that's really good. And I don't know, you know, what kind of traction you're getting on your videos in general, but, you know, keep it up. Like Max said, just keep it going, because people eventually they look for this stuff. And so, you know, plus the reality is that, you know, Google, it sits there and looks at what you do on YouTube as well. And that will help rank your blog. That will help get you more traffic for your blog site as well. So, you know, I would keep that up. One thing I'm going to do though for our team, I saw a video today that was very inspiring, and this guy's done just a ton of videos, and you'll get a kick out of it. It was just like a minute and a half video or something, but I'll post it in our team group Facebook page probably tomorrow, and you guys can kind of see what he's done. But the energy and the story and the message and everything that he delivered was really powerful, and because of that, I think the video had like 50,000 views and, you know, a whole bunch of shares and all sorts of stuff. You know, just really cool. So, you know, when the best thing to do is to take a look at what a guy like that is doing and try and copy him. That's because in the end, as marketers, that's really what it's all about. You know, that's all marketers ever do is copy one another. Really, they just copy their techniques and use what they can from other people. So that's one thing I would do for sure. But anyway, I'll post that in the team site tomorrow, and you guys can take a look at it. It's pretty fun. What else, Gary? What are any other challenges?
No, I'm going to have some challenges when I get into the bridge and all that, but I just got to work through that. The instructions are there, so that should work.
Cool. All right.
Thanks.
Yep. So, Talon, I don't know if you're out there, if you can jump on or not. Looks like probably not, but if not, no.
Wait, you got
Hey,
something?
hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, grab it, Talon! We can see his face!
Yes, yes, here in the darkness.
Kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of great information here. Thanks for sharing. Good stuff on the way. Yes, lots of blessings.
Dude, it's good to have you on, man. Because as I dubbed you the Master Scout from not that long ago, because you're always bringing stuff up. We're always like, Talon, where do you find this? He goes, oh, I just find it. It comes up every once in a while. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Talon, you've been having some awesome success with your marketing too. I'm very happy to see that. You know what I mean? With just the constant lead flow. And you're using. I mean, basically, dude, you're just doing all the Bloggle stuff, right? Like just pretty much just Facebook and just on the blog. Is it all basically coming in organically?
Yes, yeah. For the most part, I every couple of weeks I do a Craigslist ad, and I get a lot of leads that way. And over time, through email, some of them do convert.
Nice.
Yeah, just
Nice.
the Bloggle thing. I agree with you as well. You know, it just it seems to be working for me though.
Yeah. No, dude, like you're killing it with it. So I mean, I am incredibly impressed with what you're doing with that. 'Cause I'm like, my God, like, I mean, what are you getting? You're gonna. I looked at your post. You said you're getting about 150,000 hits right now on your site.
Yeah, like 127,000. Some days though it goes as low as like 500. You know, some other days it's like 89,000 hits. Just crazy.
That's nuts, dude. I mean, there are people that would kill to get 500 hits like once, and you're doing it just on with just Bloggle. That's insane, man. So is that and basically, here's a good question. So do you guys all know how to use the what's it called? The thing that pops up. This is how you know I'm not like a technical person.
The light box.
Yeah, the Lightbox feature. Do you guys has everybody figured out how to use that for the for your blogs yet? You guys know that they're available now?
I know you can use it. I haven't had time to play with it. So.
Okay. It's serious. Matt, well, John, you know what we were doing with the SumoMe thing?
Right.
It's basically that,
Yeah.
But so I'm taking the SumoMe thing off my site, and now just like because the Lightbox feature is basically it's your pop-up feature. Gary, you have a pop-up feature now? Gary.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, but have you guys figured out how to do it?
No, I haven't gone there yet.
Okay, so I think all right, good. Well, this is good because now that you guys are actually on and we're talking, this is kind of cool. So I think me or one of the other guys will put together like a training thing on how to actually use the pop-up the right way because it's pretty awesome, dude. Like I follow Bruce, and Bruce is doing it, and all it is, man, you could like just literally set it up to just post an image, rather than an opt-in box or anything, and it's basically like a pop-up CTA like call to action that you can basically click to either a capture page or a funnel, which is great, because if you get the right pop-up that pops in, you get the right you can easily convert readers into signups and into leads.
Well, and really, I think we haven't even really talked about this at all, you guys, but I think the way I've seen that used the best is to send them to some type of lead magnet, a free offer. Here's a free ebook, here's a free XYZ, and that I think converts super well. So if you guys haven't been looking into ways to create lead magnets or giveaways or things like that, that's something I would definitely look into, really focusing in on.
Totally.
So, Talon, I mean, you've been on top of the iPass stuff more than anybody else. How have your conversions been on some of the traffic that you've sent to those offers?
Very well, actually. For the most part, I had, I'd say it's about 30 leads convert into one trial, and then from there, almost 60% of those turn into Pro.
Nice.
What I don't understand is the webinar. On the tracking, I see that they some of the people have completed that part, but I don't know because they have an option to choose what date to attend the webinar. So I have a lot of trials that are still waiting to go through that process. I don't know how effective that is yet.
Hey, one thing I'm curious about, have you kind of split tests using your pre-sales video versus not using it, or using the new like Chris Jones pre-sale video versus yours? Have you done any of that kind of testing yet?
Yeah, not the new Chris Jones pre-sale. I was not aware there was one that was new.
Yeah.
Do they have a new one? Because I think the old one keeps coming up.
You could be right. I guess maybe that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Actually.
I don't think they have a new pre-sale yet, but I'll double check on that. I did some test on a split test on with my pre-sale and the without my pre-sale, and it's a lot. I get a lot less people that click into the continue from the pre-sale video, but they're more. They seem to be like better leads once they do. So overall, it's better to use the bridge video because you do get a lot of people, but they're without it, you get more people in, but they're not really interested in it. That's been my experience with it.
Okay, that's good feedback.
No, that is actually because I'm running some traffic, and basically the guy that I'm running the traffic with, he's like, wait, he's like, there's not a capture page on the pre-sale video. Like literally, it goes from video to opt-in. After the video ends, but it's not. I mean, you're not actually capturing anything up front. And in that sense, like it works, but yeah, it's basically like you'll get a way more interested, way more qualified lead converting into a buyer, but it's just like it's gonna thin down the numbers a hell of a lot more because like let's just say they get distracted or they're watching on their phone or it just pops up and they're doing something else and there's no way to follow up with them or even get them back on the back on the page itself. So that in and of itself, so I mean, if there was a way to do a capture page and then do a pre-video and then do the other thing, I think that would probably be the most optimal way to kind of build out the funnel for that. Just the thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and another thing that I'm going to work on as soon as my traffic runs, basically, is I'm running it to some external capture pages as well that have basically a pre-frame video as part of the capture page. So instead of sending them to a pre-frame video after the lead, they're going to a landing page with the video on it, and then put in their information from there. So anyway, now I'm going to split test a whole bunch of stuff and kind of see what converts the best. But that'll be pretty interesting. So
right now, what capture page are you having the best results with? 1 or 2?
1, still 1. 1 is still converting the best from the best traffic, and just checking with some other people, that still seems to be the best, but it's not far off. I think a lot of people like capture page too, and but what I've seen is it's about a 5 to 10% differential. For some people, that's not a big deal. If you're running, a couple hundred clicks worth of traffic is not a big deal, but if you're running 1,000 clicks or a couple thousand clicks or whatever, that can add up for sure.
Are you guys messing with the actual message on the capture page, or are you using the default? You can edit the whole text on the capture page.
By now, no, I don't. I was like, watch this video, then buy. No, I mean, actually, like, and that's the beauty of it. It's pretty much built to almost perfection, you know. And it obviously, like, we're gonna have to tweak the hell out of something in a couple weeks, you know. But for right now, I say don't even mess with it. You know, if it's working for you, and that's my thing. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. So if you got something that's working and you're getting, you know, if you're getting 30-something leads or you're getting 40-something leads and it's converting that well for you, you know, tweak a little bit, but don't, you know, hand grenade it to where, like, I'm going to blow it up and recreate something else. You know, try like a period here or an exclamation point here or something, you know. But yeah, I mean, this is cool, man. I'm glad all you guys are on this. This is awesome. We're actually having a real conversation rather than like a Facebook chat.
Well, and in another hint, well, I think we may have talked about this last week, but, you know, essentially what Chris Rushla was telling us is that, you know, you don't have to create a really fancy funnel to sell a low-ticket item. So, you know, whether it's iPass or the $25 blog offer for Empower Network or anything like that, you know, don't create some huge funnel to send people into a basic offer like that. That you create a super sophisticated funnel for things that are higher ticket items. But for anything that's lower ticket, use your story. And that's, you know, that's kind of what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks is, you know, promote your story, hone in on your story, create something that's that people can resonate with, and sell it that way. So, you know, that's another option to test with is create your own personal story of challenges and struggles and revelations and success, and split test that as well along with the pre-built funnels, because, you know, if you don't do that, you'll never know. So as soon as I get a couple of other videos, that's exactly what I'm going to do as well. Just split test the heck out of this stuff and see what works, because you just don't know. You don't know until you keep trying. So, but one thing I'll tell you is I did see somebody was reporting, you know, like 15% opt-in rates on Capture Page 2. Well, first of all, I guarantee you their traffic sucked. So, you know, even on Capture Page 2 with high quality traffic, you should be able to get 35% opt-in rate at least on that. You know, so that's sort of the telltale sign if you guys are using traffic sources. If it's not converting in that 35% plus range, then the traffic is just not very high quality, period. So, or they've been just hammered to death. But typically it's just not, you know, it's not going to be very good traffic. So stay away from that stuff. But all right. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, is there anything else we can help you guys with, or anybody? I just want to say this, man. I think I want to commend all you guys for putting in the work that you guys have been doing. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, see, and this is, and some people are going to understand this, and some people aren't. And if you're watching this and you're not part of the team, but, you know, when we basically thinned out the other 300 something people that were like non-active in the group, you know, there was a reason for it. And because realistically, like this, you know, let's just put it this way: if you know, Gary, if you take some of the stuff we told you and now all of a sudden it goes from like, you know, I'm only getting a couple leads to like, you know, I'm getting like massive amounts of leads, or Betty Jane, if you actually start, you know, honing in on like really what your target kind of audience is, you know, that to me is a successful start, because I know, you know, and once again, like when I first started online, dude, I had zero idea of what I was doing, you know, and I was just, and the same thing, and it's, who was his name? Dude, James Brown, you know what I mean, the dude from New Zealand,
Weekend, who did like everybody copy everyone, and people were like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, and his whole strategy was to just like copy what the other successful people were doing, and you look at it, and it's the most it was actually pretty funny to watch because he'd gotten some results with it, but it was just like his whole, like his Facebook page and everything, like his whole thing was this like, one day it would be like all these like really positive posts, and the next day it would be all these like really spammy posts, and then it was just, and it was funny because like he walked out of that event and was just like, man, I just realized that I can utterly just be myself and not have to like copy people all the time. So I think that's kind of what it is, guys. It's just like, regardless of how much you actually think you know with what we're doing right now, you know what I mean, whether, you know, with the online marketing game or stuff like that, the fact that you guys are on this webinar and you have the questions that you're asking actually means that you know more than most people. And that's what you guys got to realize. Like, there actually is like what I consider like a lot of times to be like common knowledge, I've realized like isn't for a lot of people, you know, and what you guys know about the things that you're really passionate about, or even when it comes to like online marketing or things like that, you know, it's I always thought like YouTube was just like, hey man, post a video or whatever, and then I watched a couple training things that I bought from guys that were actually making like a lot of money with YouTube videos, and I was just, and it's never anything really that difficult. It's just like small tweak here, small tweak there, spin this around a little bit, and all of a sudden you're like, bam, first page of Google. You know, and and obviously that depends on like keywording and stuff, and like what kind of, if it's you know, whatever, that's a whole other world of marketing. But you know, but basically the fact that you guys are on this and you're asking the questions shows that you guys are like genuinely putting in the work and genuinely care about like, you know, building your online business. So in that sense, and I mean that was kind of the whole premise behind this group. It was you know, get everybody in the black. We want everybody here making money and make it, you know, Betty Jean's all fired up. I love it. You know, because that's the whole thing, and it's just, you know, a lot of us, you know, came from crap sponsors and people that, you know, just basically didn't really care about the results that their team was getting. If anything, it was just like, buy more stuff so I can make more money, and that's, you know, that's obviously not what we're about. Because I mean, there aren't too many teams out there that will genuinely get people on it. Just like, hey man, how do we problem solve like what's going on with you? You know, what's cool about this is that this is recorded, so if you guys have any questions or anything, or if you didn't get all the details that you needed, go back and watch this. And you know, if you have more questions, hell man, throw them in the group, and I think this is a cool format, you know, to actually teach, train, and help people in the group. And for any of you guys that are in the group, you know, whether you're watching this now or you're watching this, you know, recorded, you know, this is the cool thing about getting in with a group of people, you know, that genuinely care about their team's success. You know, genuinely care about their team's success, and it's not just like a, hey, pay me money for coaching, or hey, do this and this and that, or hey, buy this product or whatever, you know. Because my thing is this, is like as the team succeeds, we grow and we add on new people and we build together, you know, and that's kind of what this is about. So regardless of whatever, and guys, we all market to different niches. Like, we're not all follow this exact guideline and go after something that you don't know about. If anything, it's just like the whole point of this is to like empower you to just like get comfortable being you and realize that there are plenty of other people out there that, you know, that want the same things that you guys want and are basically like looking for somebody to show them the way, you know. And it could be any of you guys, you know, and that's kind of it. So all I'm saying is this, you know, keep up the good work, you know, keep up the good work, and as we progress and as we do all this other stuff, you know, I'd love to hear some results and how you know, how this helped you guys, like, as you know, progressively, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's, you know, through your marketing and stuff. But yes, bud, you're going to bed. Oh, it's late. So I'm sorry, man. I forget to put on the bed because I get all fired up on this. Say bye to everybody. Bye. Say good night. Good night.
Bye.
You're so cute. So see, everybody waves bye. It's fun, right? You're like the star of the show. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing, guys. It's just like this is where it's like you kind of gotta like step out of like who you think you are and like go into like who you know you are. You know, and that's a lot of the transition part of it. It's like, it's not who you were. It's almost like you got to become the person that you want to be. You know, be the leader that you want to work with. You know what I mean? Be the mentor that you want to work with. You know, be the person that you'd love to work with. You know, and it's like, and if you do that with your marketing and everything else, it's like you'll find people that go, man, Gary, you're like, we have so much in common. Can you teach me this? You know what I mean? Betty Jean, like, we have so much in common. Can you teach me this? I'd love to sign up with you. And that's kind of the whole thing. You know, it's not necessarily, I'm a millionaire and, you know, buy my system. You know what I mean? Because there's so many guys out there that market that way, and it's just like, come on, dude. Like, how does? I mean, like, yeah, that resonates with a certain group of people, but at the same time, it's like that's also a huge turnoff to a lot of people that have seen so many people marketing like that. So in a sense, it's just, I mean, Talon saw the video I did, right? You know, what was my whole thing? It's like I'm a normal guy. You know, I got a wife, I got a kids, I got this, I got that. You know, I'm not a tech wizard. I'm not anything. I just followed the system. I paid attention, and you know, and I'm getting results now. And that's basically like that's in a sense that's who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not anything super special. I'm just, you know, a normal guy that just took the time to learn some stuff. You know, and with that, it's just like, you know, I enjoy teaching and helping other people. You know, and it's just like, if I can do this, you can do this. And that's I think there's so much power in that kind of message. You know, so don't actually overthink that. If anything, it's just like, just take that for what it is. You know, I'm a normal person. I do this, and it's getting me results. You know, I'm not a guru. I'm not any kind of rock star. I don't use, you know, I'm not a special trained ninja. I don't have crazy robots that do all this crazy stuff for me. Now, at the same time, I know John Newton, who has crazy robots that do crazy stuff for him. You know, and he's, you know, one of my good friends on my team. And if you join the team, you can have access to his ninja robots that do crazy stuff. But yeah, you know, and that's kind of in that sense where it's like, you know, you guys like comic books? This is a stupid
Random question, but sure, yes.
No, but dude, do you guys like you know, have you guys all seen the Avengers movie?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, well, any of them. You know what I mean? Whether it's Avengers 1 or Avengers 2. But, you know, it's like, I look at it like this. Like, when you form a good team, you know, if everybody was like the Hulk, that'd be the lamest team ever. You know, and it's like, if everybody was just like Hawkeye, or was just like Spider-Man, or was just Thor, it would be a lame team, because they'd all have the same power. You know, and it's just like 8 or 9 guys running around with hammers and lightning bolts. That gets pretty...
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'd be Wonder Woman.
Okay, but there you go. You got Justice League. You know what I mean? But what made Justice League so awesome? You had Superman, you had Batman, you had Vision, you had Wonder Woman, you had Aquaman, you had all these people, and all of them had their own special powers. You know, and they were all pretty badass by themselves. But like, when you put them all together in a group, like, each one of them played off of each other so well. You know, so in that sense, it's like that's how you got to think about it. It's just like, you may not have the same exact abilities as somebody else, but at the same time, it's like your abilities will actually help other people's abilities in that sense. See that? That's Betty Jean. She's wonderful. Laura kiss. Hi.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Hear no evil, hear no evil. He's tired of hearing Daddy talk. You know what I mean? So anyway, but that's the thing, man. It's like, when everybody's got their own special powers. You know, when you put everybody in a group together, it's like the group gets more and more powerful. So yeah, that's it. You know. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this Wednesday night hangout, man. I'm pretty much I don't know. I can ramble on for another 2 hours, but I don't want to.
It's 11:30 right now.
For you it is. It's 10:30 for me. I gotta get this boy to bed. So.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
thank you.
No, thank you guys for jumping on, man. Really cool.
You guys, thank you for coming on. Awesome. It's good to see you guys on here. Awesome. Talon, thank you, sir. Master Scout. Gary, keep rocking on, keep plugging away. You'll get there. You know, it's all about persistence. Betty Jean, you're always like a nice ray of like sunshine. Where it's like, Betty Jean, it's like, oh my God, Betty Jean. We'll like freak out and everything else. So it's good to see you again. Awesome.
I work on that.
Everyone else. What'd you say?
I said I work on that. That ray of sunshine. I work on that. It's a song.
I'm feeling it.
They're getting me singing. Careful.
There you go. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not on the team, there's a link below. It says Get in Black now. Click on that link, get in the black, join our team. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.